YouTube friends, I'm back today with a new process video, and you'll see that this video is for Peartree Cutfiles, and this month it is the second birthday of Peartree. So we're celebrating the past few days and all month long with some challenges. And so this is day 14 challenge, and it features the letter L. And my challenge was to use layering and labels, and so I challenge you to do the same. And if you make a layout with a Peartree cut file and labels and layering, go ahead and join us in the Facebook group and upload your layout there to be entered to win a prize. So I decided to use this cut file from this month, August, Life is Better With You. And I have a picture of my husband and I, and we had taken a drive down the shore. We live in New Jersey, so it's pretty quick to get down the shore. The whole coast is along the beach. And this was just a picture, a selfie we took while we were walking the boardwalk. We had paused to just enjoy the ocean. And so I'm showing you here my process for how I like to back cut files. There's lots of different ways to back them, but I like to trace the letters on the back side of the pattern paper, and I trace them backwards. And so I do that for each of my words. I decided to keep each word in the same color and pattern paper. And so there we go. There's all my letters. And then now that they're all cut out, it's pretty quick to just add adhesive to the back of the cut file and then lay down those letters. They fit right in, you'll see there. One of my favorite cut files from Peartree are these title cut files, because it feels like most of the work of your layout is done for you once you've backed the cut file and got your design down. I do add in some other stickers and phrases to make this title a little bit even longer than it already is. And I'm using products from the August 2022 Hip Kit Club, which is all exclusive products. The line is called Chase the Sun, and everything in this kit is designed by Hip Kit. It actually came in the mail Monday night, and I made this layout on Tuesday, and then you'll see it this week on Thursday. And so for my layers, I decided that I wanted to do some diagonal layers in the background. And so this paper is going to be one of the layers. And then I'm going to put on top of that a sort of green paper that's part of the Hip Kit, a cardstock collection that they now come out with. I actually took it from a previous kit, the paper, and it matched perfectly. And what I did was I pulled out some old cutoffs that I had when I cut my back files. When I cut my cut file, I always save the piece that's left. So I always cut it in the center of the white cardstock, and then I save the piece to use as a mat. And that way you're not really wasting it. So I did distress the edges. I wanted sort of a strong distress look, so I went over each edge a few times. Here I'm deciding which paper I want to put down on top of that, because that background is just a little too busy to go directly on top of. So there's 2 layers along the background. And then I also decide to add in a mixed media layer that you will see in a couple moments. I take out a stencil and I add some stenciling and some ink splatters along 2 different corners. There's the stencil. I went with some starfish to go with the beach theme. But first, always stitching around the edges of my layers, one of my favorite things to do. Okay, so I'm getting these 2 adhered together. I just wanted to have it all ready to go before I did my stenciling so that I could measure out where I wanted my stenciling to go and everything would fit together. The distressed oxide I'm using there is dried marigold. It's a really sort of soft orangey color that goes really nicely with this collection. And so I just decide to add the stenciling in these 2 corners, and then I do go in with some ink splatters. And I add the ink splatters all the way around, but a little bit more where I have the stenciling, make it a little heavier there. Alright, I do add some dimensional adhesive in the form of these thin strips, which I get from scrapbook.com, but I have heard lots of people say you can also get these on Amazon. They're perfect for behind the cut files because a lot of times the letters are a little bit thinner, and it's just super easy to add that in rather than having to cut foam or cut adhesive down to the right size. I decided I wanted it on a diagonal, so I did that. I put that down, and then I've got 3 layers there on the background. The mixed media layer, and then 2 paper layers. And then I go ahead and add some layers behind my photo. One of my favorite ways to use the 3x4 Project Life cards is as layers behind the photo or photo mats. I tend to always keep my photo in a 3x4 size, and then the cards are already 3x4, so I just kind of offset them. So I'm distressing the edges, and I do add some stitching behind each of these cards. Or I should say, I add some stitching along the edges of these cards and along the edge of my layout. This is one of the die cut packs that comes in the collection. There's lots of tags and frames. I'm a big fan of tags, and so I feel like I always include them and tuck them behind my photos. And I always have to tie a little bit of crochet thread through it, and I love to make bows in those tags. So you'll see I fiddle around with which ones and then decide to go with those 2 and then add in some twine in a little bit. So there's some gorgeous puffy stickers and chipboard elements in this collection, and I decided that I want to add a little bit more to my collection, a little bit more to my title. And so I put fun there. I put summer along the top above life. And I like to leave them on the backing and then cut them out so they're still on the acetate sheet that they came on, so I can sort of lay that there and make sure I like it and then get it stuck down when I'm finally ready. And then I go with another sticker. This is totally amazing. So in my head I thought the title sort of read Summer Life is totally amazing, better with fun you, which doesn't really exactly make sense, but it works. Add in that crochet twine to the top of my tags. And so if you think about it, I sort of layered my title also with lots of different words. Goes with that layering challenge. And I haven't yet brought in the labels. They are coming along. You will see in a couple moments. I'm going to get all that stuck down for my photo, get that in place. And then I use pretty strong adhesive to get this stuck down. And then I take all the adhesive off the back of Life is Better With You at once. And then once it's down, you'll see. I wish I just took the adhesive off the back of Better and then placed it. I would have had a little more wiggle room because the word better sort of ends up over my husband's face. But I don't think he really minds because he doesn't really like his photo taken anyway. You'll see a couple moments ago I just had a Distress Oxide paper with lots of hearts on it, and that was a free download from Tim Holtz's website. He has with all of the Distress Oxide inks on it, and so I just took a simple heart stamp, stamped them all on that paper, and then when I'm looking for the right color I just pull that out and I can easily match it. I ended up adding that blue ink over it. That was salvaged patina, because when I did the dried marigold on the back, I must have had my cut files sort of sitting close to where I was splattering ink, and there were some orange ink splatters on the cut file, so I decided to just embrace it and go with the ink splatters, and I added in some blue, that salvaged patina, to match the back a little bit. I'm finishing off the layered title by adding in all of those extra words, and then I add a word phrase along the bottom. And now I am pulling out what I'm going to use as my labels. So these are fabric pieces that came in this kit, and I am using those as my labels, and I put them in 3 spots to create that visual triangle. One there under the photo, one next to the word with, and then one above the word summer. And then those are going to be my 3 embellishment clusters that I'm going to add some more items to. You'll see here I added some chipboard flair and some stickers that are some leafy bits that I thought looked pretty sticking out. We were at the beach, so I thought that fit. So I'm adding some dimensional foam to some of these pieces to pop different pieces up. I put 2 pieces of behind that originally and end up taking one off because it's just a little too dimensional. And I'm going to come in with some tiny puffy stickers that came in this kit next, and I decided to add in some seashells. Like I said, we were at the beach, so that it sort of seemed to go with that. And then word phrases are one of my absolute favorite things. There's a bunch of really great ones in this kit, so I add 1 to each of my clusters. And then my final touch in each of my clusters is some sequins. There were no enamel dots in this collection. I probably would have went with enamel dots if there were. Might have to pull some out of my stash for my next layout with this kit. But I pull in some sequins that I think are a nice match. I like to lay them out first. I do 5 little clusters, and then I attach them with glue dots. And so like I said, this layout is for the Peartree's Cutfiles 2nd birthday celebration, and I hope you will join us in the Facebook group. There have been lots of challenges going on. This challenge is for the letter L, and it's for you to use layers and labels. And if you make a layout, be sure to join us in the Facebook group and upload your layout so we can see it, and you can be entered to win a prize. I hope you'll like this video and subscribe to my channel. I've got more videos coming, and I hope that you have a great day. Some close-ups are coming up. Bye-bye.